Yeah, you heard that highlight in there. Took Tillman for a ride all the way out of bounds, like the tunnel, the bus, the plane. Where were you taking him?
Out the play.
Out the play.
So, yeah, I was really mad because of was it the second down before that he caught the curl route, and honestly, just my goal was to go the game with no catches. So when he caught it, and it was him. At least, I mean, if it was number two, it was like, okay, I can respect a little more. But I'm like, I got no business giving up that catch and that down. So I mean, just for me, I was like, nah, I got to send a message that next play.
That's incredible.
That is amazing. Cedric Tillman doesn't deserve to get that first catch. And what's he complaining about when you're shoving him out of bounds? There's nothing to complain about.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I guess I found out that there's a rule that I didn't know of playing 4 years in the league that you can't double jam a wide receiver. I'm going to say this now. The league is so soft, and this is an offensive league, but I found out that supposedly you can't double jam a wide receiver, meaning like the first push I gave him, I guess, is legal because it's within 5 yards. The second, I can't go and re-engage and try to push him again. There's a one jam limit in the NFL. Even if it's under 5 yards or not, you can't jam a guy and then jam him again. It's supposedly illegal. So, I mean, I guess I'm glad they didn't call the flag, but that's probably the softest thing I've heard, that there's a limit on how many times you can jam a wide receiver.
So did your coaches tell you that should have been a penalty? How did you find out about this rule?
Honestly, I found out this rule from my own wide receiver coach. So he tell me, it was like, yeah, I mean, like I'm glad they didn't throw it, but technically if they did throw it, it's because of da-da-da, and he broke it down. So I'm like, I just had said okay and kind of walked away, but I'm like, that's probably the softest thing I've ever heard. He was like, yeah, like even if it's in 5 yards, you can still get a flag. But if you jam them and you stay engaged, then you're good. But you can't jam them, disengage, and then jam them again, even when it's in 5 yards. I'm like, I ain't never heard that in my life. But I'm innocent. I'm taking the coaching because he has my best interest. But just like hearing the rule, like who makes a rule like that?
Well, good looking out by Tyke Tolbert. But seriously, like this league they want offense at your own expense, don't they, Jaylon? They don't want you to succeed, this league.
Not at all. I mean, yeah, I guess it just comes with the positions, I guess.
that is pretty amazing. So that was the third double-digit lead you guys have blown in the fourth quarter this year. This one ensures that you guys will finish the season with a losing record. Does the 24-hour rule apply, or is this one going to take longer to get over?
I think this one's going to take longer until I feel like we win again. I mean, it's easy to say 24-hour rule, but it's like, nah, this going to stay until we get our next W. So, I mean, just using that throughout the week. But, I mean, it's not just as simple as, just a 24-hour rule. It's like you said, we've been in a position where we've been up and we've lost. So, it's like it's not just something that you just, yeah, okay, 24-hour rule, 24 hours gone by. No, it's like, man, we got to let it sting, and it is stinging for the guys. And I think just after a certain point, man, you get frustrated with it. I mean, we were frustrated after the Detroit one. It's like, yeah, okay. It's like now it's happening again. It's like, man, that's some things that I feel like are just unexcusable. I honestly, just from a team, of course, from a defense, like that's what we want to be in those positions to where we can be able to close game out, and even for offense, being able to put games away. So I mean, just as a unit, I feel like we just, in a sense, are disappointed that we haven't been able to, I feel like, seal the deal. And we've been up. It's not like we've gone back and forth, and we lost the close game. It's like, nah, we're up. We've done what we needed to do up until I feel like it's time to put the finishing touches on. And even like I said in my interview with Johnny, like we've been knocking on the door plenty of time, but those are opportunities to kick the door down. Like we just got to finish. And I know we've been saying it all year, and it's kind of getting irritating to just keep saying, but it's like at the end of the day, we just got to continue to learn how to win, learn how to kick that door down on both sides of the ball.
The defense was so good for so long yesterday, and then things happen in the fourth quarter. What's nagging at you about the defense? Things you guys could have done in the fourth quarter.
I mean, honestly, realistically, I want to say nothing, but it's just I feel like just timely explosives. Because I mean, explosives are going to happen. I want to say they had 6 explosives. Like that's pretty dang good to only give up and send 6 explosive plays. But it's like we gave up one. I think Amari Cooper's was 51 yards, and that was a touchdown. So that kind of changed the game. That was a big play in the game. And then I really want to say more so that first play of 2 minutes when we gave up that 7 route to Njoku that was wide open. I think that was, to me, those 2 were the biggest ones where it's like, I mean, things happen, but it's like if we take those 2 away, if we find a way to execute those, then I think it's a completely different game.
Some of your teammates, and obviously we weren't in the locker room, but Brad Biggs quoted a few of your teammates as seemingly having some issue with the 3rd and 15 pressure call on the Njoku conversion when Justin Jones is dropping into coverage. Did you have an issue with that pressure call?
I would say so, yeah. I think it was – I don't necessarily was – I wouldn't say that it was the type or the pressure call. I think it was just that type of pressure. And it was just like, I think for me too, like I didn't feel like we were that pressed to have to pressure. I felt like our front was doing a heck of a job all game. I felt like pressuring. And I think we did a pretty good job covering. So I mean, I just felt like there were maybe some different options that I feel like could have worked better or maybe more simpler for us. But I mean, I feel like it's easy to say in a sense in hindsight, but I feel like definitely in the moment it was something that I think we could have had some different calls that could have gave us a better chance to get off the field.
Is that something that you think the second that the play is called in?
Sometimes at times you can think like, oh, I'm not really a big fan of this, but it's like being on the field, you're not all the way, I feel like, engaged or like you. And again, like we're not out there with the whole sheet on our hand, different situation and what like. So it's like it's easy in a sense for us. We don't really like that one. Or certain times when we do get it, okay, like yeah, this is a good one. So I mean, you kind of have your feelings about, in a sense, a call before you get in, but it's like at the end of the day, you got to go and try to execute best you can.
So is that something you guys can talk to Matt about? He said it today at the press conference that it didn't work, you know? So do you guys voice that? Does it come up in a leadership council meeting?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we've had, especially like I feel like as defensive leaders, we definitely are open in a sense about certain things that we like, certain things that we don't like. But again, I feel like it's one of those things where, especially in the game, it's in a sense almost easier to just talk about it or say, oh, what you don't like after something didn't work. But I mean, even throughout the week, if there are certain calls or certain things that we don't like, we definitely speak up and say, hey, we don't like this, or we feel like we can do this better, or kind of just like X, Y, Z, just find a different way to get to it. But I mean, in the game, it's one of those things where it's almost too late. So, I mean, in certain situations, we still voice it, but I mean, it's like, it's too late. We got to watch it and then move on. So, I mean, at the end of the day, too, it's like, same way we don't make every play. I mean, he's not going to make the right call every time. So, I mean, just for us, and I think just from the standard that we have, I think we just always want to be at our best when our best is needed. I don't think anybody's exempt from it, but just also, too, I mean, no, we're not perfect. There's plays that we could have made in previous games in the sense that we didn't make. So, I mean, it's not like we're just in a sense, harping on it so much, but it's like at the end of the day, we just want to be at our best when our best is needed, and that's all anybody can ask for.
It's a tough loss yesterday, and it damages the playoff possibilities and all that. Like, and you guys have been playing so hard and playing unified and passionate, especially on defense. And is there a danger at all after a loss like that with 3 games left that the collective foot could come off the gas for you guys at all? Like, are you conscious of needing to look around and make sure that doesn't happen as one of the leaders?
I don't think so. Not with not with the guys that we have. And I mean, still, like you said, there's still a fighting chance. Of course, there's a lot of things that got to go on for us to be able to get in. And I think it starts with us giving ourselves a chance of winning these next 3. So, I mean, just in order to do that, you got to win the next one. So I think we're not really. Yeah, no, we're not thinking about anything else, honestly, outside of winning. And like you said, I mean, we're trying to win as many games as we can. This isn't the way that we want the 2023 Bears to go down. So I mean, we still got 3 more opportunities, 3 more games to be able to go and get some W. So I mean, honestly, for us, we just want to band together. And I mean, too, just in the history of sports, I mean, you're never going to be on the same team again. So just being able to honestly bond with the guys that you have in the locker room now, able to go in and getting some wins, even if we, in a sense, get eliminated or whatever it is. It's like, no, we still want to go out here and play, still put our best film out there. Because I mean, our film is our resume. So just continue to put our best foot out there, and then also just continue to bond, have fun with the locker room that you have, because you never get the same locker room again.
We're talking to Jaylon Johnson. I think that in my experience of watching football, that's what I've seen. It's very rare to see a team quit, check out, whatever. You know, contracts aren't guaranteed. You work 365 days a year for those 17 games. Like, I'm not terribly worried about you guys. And you do seem to be a very tight-knit group. We talk a lot about the big picture stuff, though, right? It's fans ask about it, draft picks and changes and all that sort of thing. DJ Moore was asked about it after the game, and he was like, I don't know why you guys keep talking to us about this. You know, Justin's better than Caleb Williams and Drake May. Like, I don't know why you would even think that he couldn't be the quarterback next year. I'm just curious, like, can you explain to the audience what the locker room is like around Justin? Because you guys do at this point have the #1 pick in the draft, and that is like a thing that Bears fans are talking about, the idea of drafting a quarterback and replacing Justin. How would that go over in this locker room?
How would it go over in the locker room? Honestly, I think for us, it's one of those things where it's like we know what talks and speculations are. And for one, I feel like we got to address this too. Like,
let's do it.
The realistic side of the game of the business is the GM's job, honestly, is to replace the coaches and the players with the best coaches and players they can. They're trying to build the best team, build the best formula. So it's like we know and understand in a sense of the pressure and the realism of what we're doing. It's like I'm not just out here playing corner just to collect a check. No, I'm playing this game to keep my job, because they're going and they have college scouts, they have free agent scouts that are looking to figure out who can we have to replace Jaylon. And it's like, so with understanding nobody in a sense is expendable, like everybody can get replaced, everybody can get cut, anybody can get traded. It's like, you know, in a sense, what the talks are in a sense above you. And I think for us in the locker room, it's like our job to build and get close with the group that we have, and we have in a sense to believe in everybody that's in the locker room, because it's like at the end of the day, everybody's in that locker room for a reason, because they felt like this roster is better than the roster that we had last year. So it's like they're trying to continue to outdo each roster. So it's like with the guys that we have brought in, it's like we're only going to mesh closer and closer and closer, because that's all we really have. Because I mean, the industry and the game is so cutthroat where it's like you can wake up one day, somebody be gone, and you really never see him again. Like I have plenty of teammates that I talked to one day, all right, bro, I'll see you tomorrow, and then he's cut, and then I may not see him for another year and a half playing on another team. So it's like just knowing that, it makes you want to get, in a sense, closer to guys, because you never really know who's going to be there, who's not going to be there. But as far as Justin goes, it's like he's our quarterback. Like, we believe in Justin. We've seen Justin play at a high level. It's not like we just have a quarterback that we just see and just like, nah, he's not it. Like, no, he's a guy to me that checks a lot of the boxes, and it's just like we're only going to gel closer together. We're only going to defend him. We're only going to pump him up. We're only going to put what we have into him, because he's our guy. He's the guy in the locker room. He's the guy that makes plays. He's the guy that leads us. He's the guy that take everything on, in a sense, onto the chin. Like if it's somebody who's going to step up further, say it's his fault, it's him. So I mean, there's no better, I feel like, reason for us to go to bat with our quarterback than what we have in our locker room and what Justin has done for us and our team. But I mean, just overall, I mean, we know what the talks are. Of course, the #1 pick, you normally choose a quarterback. So it's like yeah, there's talks. Are we just the best team? No. Has he just had his best all career year? No. So it's like we know what, in a sense, the talks are, but it's like as far as bringing it to the locker room, like, man, no, like y'all can keep that in a sense on Twitter, keep that on social media, but don't bring that to our locker room and try to project what you guys are thinking on us and trying to create a story. And oh, okay, well the guys are. We not feeling like nothing. We feeling like Justin is that guy. So I mean, that's I feel like where the frustration comes is like outside people trying to project that energy on us or trying to divide us or well, how do you feel with the number one pick? Like, is I don't know. There's very few guys to me in the locker room that maybe shouldn't even be in the locker room if they're going, oh yeah, we should take K. Like, nah, I don't think that's how it goes. But again, I thought our locker room is too tight knit for any of that.
That's a great answer, and it's enlightening. You know, it's like a lot of times a guy ends his run, whether it's a quarterback, I mean, it's often a quarterback, ends his run with a team, and kind of time runs out, and people move on, and like it's possible, right, Jaylon, that Justin might move on, and I don't know if he will have had a fair chance, if he will have had enough time. You've seen that happen with other people, right? It's just kind of the way of the league.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, I feel like, especially for him, it's been unfortunate because I mean he's had two regimes, two offensive coordinators. I mean, it's not an easy situation. I think for him to even be able to get comfortable, and I mean, again, I think that kind of happens a lot of the times to the first round quarterbacks. I mean, they go to teams in the sense that aren't, and I would say that aren't that good, and then they're expected to come in and play at a certain level. And it's like even if the team is good, is their stability, and then it's like, quite honestly, the Bears haven't been good nor had stability these last few years, and it's like since we've been in the league, we haven't been able to do either one of those. So it's like I can't just sit here and say, oh well, Justin's just not good enough. Nah, Justin to me hasn't been put in a good enough situation to where it's just like easy and simple. Okay, I've had the same quarterback coach, I've had the same offensive coordinator, I've had the same head coach, I've had stability within my O-line, the guys that are around me. Like, I mean, he's had so many moving parts around him, but everything is thrown on his shoulders to lead this organization to win, lead this organization to a Super Bowl. And it's like, it's not that easy. It's not that simple. And then even I feel like even just on defense, like we haven't just been a top 5 defense as well. So it's like everybody has a part to me that plays into the success of Justin Fields. And it's not just him doing it. Granted, yeah, like he knows he can be better in certain things or read some things a certain way or make better pass. I mean, that's just the nature of everybody that plays the game of football. There's always room for improvement. But I think the biggest thing that people don't account for is all the moving factors around somebody and all the features that I think goes into building a good, successful quarterback in this league.
I just got one more football thing for you, and then I want to hear about your Christmas plans with your adorable daughter. But you seem so confident that this team is going to stick together and leadership and personnel and the guys in the locker room. And I tend to agree with you from what I've seen just from watching the game and following it closely. How much credit or what role, if any, does Coach Eberflus have in that? Or is that like strictly a player-driven, player accountability type? Because people say in our line of work, Jaylon, they'll be like, they play hard for their coach. And I'm like, I don't know. These guys might be just playing hard for the guy next to them and the tape and the resume and the job and like what you were talking about. So what role does he have in the connectivity of this team?
What role does he have? I would say making a point of emphasis, but I think the way that I see it is you can take a water to the well, but you can't make it drink type of thing. And it's like we're thirsty for that. We're thirsty to be a unit. We're thirsty to win. We're thirsty to play the game the right way. And he emphasizes it. And I think it's definitely been something that we've talked about from camp up until now is being close, being a unit, sticking together. So, I mean, it's definitely something that he has taught and something that he has preached. And I think just for the leaders and the guys in the locker room, we're doing that and have taken, in a sense, the initiative to make it happen. And that just realizing and knowing how important it is to really have a tight-knit locker room. Because, I mean, there's plenty of locker rooms in a sense, even with good teams. There's plenty of good teams that don't have good locker rooms or teams that aren't that good that don't have good locker rooms. And I'm sure, in a sense, most people, oh, yeah, guys, just stay together, stay together. And you don't have guys that stay together. So, I mean, I think it's really just the guys coming in and accepting it and knowing and just honestly just having good hearts. I mean, you can't teach people to have good hearts. You can't teach somebody to care for their brother. That's not something that can just be taught. That comes from within. So I think really just having the right guys in the building that, in a sense, have the same goals, have the same loving hearts, be able to come in and love each other despite the circumstances. And I think love shows up in a lot of different ways in this building as well. I mean, it's not just laughing and joking all the time, like that type of love. I mean, there's tough love, there's, in a sense, soft love, genuine, tender love. So I mean, we have a lot of that brotherly love, and anybody that I think has a brother knows that there's going to be some hard times in it, and then some good times. So I mean, I just think it's really just us taking that role on and just taking the initiative to really make sure everybody stays together and continues to love on one another.
That's awesome. Hey, Jaylon, one last football thing. What'd you say to Trent Taylor after he muffed that punt? Saw you said something to him. Then the defense goes out there and Tyreek makes the incredible interception on the very next play.
Honestly, I think I just told him to pick his head up. Like, because I mean, again, like he even said, like in the first muff, he was like, "That's my first muff of my career," and I'm like, "God damn!" Like, that you just kind of like say. Kind of roll, like somebody rolls over, especially me, like you said, of your career, and it's like you've been playing for some years. It's not like this is third year in the league. So when he said that, I'm like, oh, like I just had a different outlook. But I mean, even if it wasn't his first month of his career, I don't think it would have changed my response. But just knowing, in a sense, the type of guy he is, and I mean, for me, honestly, I've been in awe of just how he catches the ball. I mean, just even in practice, like he'll have a ball in his hand. He'll throw the ball in the air, catch the punt that was punted, and then catch the other ball that he threw in the air. And it's like just being able to see him do it, and he'll catch the ball in the light. He'll put his hand up. He'll see it last minute. He'll catch the ball. And it's like he genuinely doesn't drop the ball. So like when I seen him, to me, it's like I know what that feels like to be able to have a sort of standard for yourself, and then you didn't meet it at the moment, and you get down. It's like, nah, bro, pick your head up. Like, you good. Like, it's not that bad, honestly. So, I mean, honestly, for me, when I seen him with his head down, I'm like, nah, but you got to pick your head up. Like, you good. You can feel the way you feel, for sure. It's good to feel like that, but definitely pick your head up on your way out.
You asking him for pointers on how to catch it?
Who?
Taylor. I mean, I know.
No, that's a different beast.
Okay.
Punter is very different.
That would have been your best pick of the year. The one yesterday, man. That was seriously aggressive and got your hands on it. That was badass, almost super close.
Man, I thought that was one where I got it. And even like on my way down, like I had it, and then like when he ripped my arm off, the ball kind of was coming out. I still grabbed on my left arm. Oh, I'm good. I mean, I hit that ground so damn hard, that ball came square in there. I'm like, eh. he made a good play, grabbing my arm, and like they said, I'm playing defense. But that was definitely one I thought about, because honestly, I seen it. I'm like, I'm jumping this route, and I mean, I had a loose third, and I'm like, nah, I'm not playing nothing loose about this. I'm going to go take this one, and it worked out just the right way. Everything, the route, the pass, I mean, opportunity, everything worked out my way. I just couldn't bring it all the way in.
All right,